Hey, Nicole Hunstman here from moderncosmic.com. We're going to talk about Mercury on this video. Mercury, this is your mind. This is your ability to make decisions. This is the part of you that you would use to name and define things in your life. This is how you communicate with other people. It's your intellect, all right? It's the mind, logos. Let's start with Aries. Mercury and Aries. These are people who tend to make snap judgments. These are people who tend to be a little bit brash, a little bit quick on the draw, so to speak, with the things that they'll say. So they can be rude or direct at times. They're very sort of, this is what they think, and they're quick thinkers and they get bored easily. So if you're telling them something, you better hurry and get to the point or you've lost them. I liked in Alan Oken's book, Complete Astrology, he says, I'm going to go through each of these with Mercury, but he says Aries is about immediate action that's precipitated by mental processes. So immediate action, they want to think about it for a second and then do something, take action on it. That's why they just kind of say what they think and blah, it just comes out of them. Okay, Taurus, Mercuries, these people tend, these are my clients that when I'm speaking to them, I have to slow down. Whenever I see they've got Taurus, Mercury, I'm like, okay, I will talk more slowly. They're more deliberate, okay? They're not really detail-oriented so much as just kind of wanting to get the big, broad brushstrokes of something. They like to take notes. They need to kind of know what to expect. They think in a way that's just more concrete and practical. Give me practical advice. What can I do in this situation? All right, that's Taurian. This is deliberate action stimulated through thought processes. Gemini, you know, this is the sign that's ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is very happy in Gemini. It's somebody with quick processing speed, a chatterbox, somebody who definitely needs to do a lot of communicating. There's a lot of adaptability with the way that they think. You know, they can solve problems in a pretty creative manner. And they're loquacious, we'll say. Gemini is constantly changing activity that's been stimulated by mental processes. So lots of ideas, starting new things, multitasking, all over the place. They can be a little ADD with their thought processes and their planning style. Mercury in Cancer, you've got a nostalgic mind. This is someone, there's a connection between the head and the heart here a bit. Sensitivity as well to the way they communicate. There is a desire to, a lot of times there's an introversion with their communication style. They kind of keep things to themselves. They don't always necessarily communicate on the outside of them what they're really thinking. And a lot of what they communicate is going to be I feel rather than I think. If you ask a Cancer Mercury, what do you think about the current state of affairs in the Middle East? They'll say, I'm not really sure what I think about that, but I feel X, Y, Z. You know? So speaking to them from a feeling place works better than a thinking place. Leo Mercuries, oh yeah, these people, I shouldn't say people, this particular placement of Mercury expresses through, it's kind of like it's a little bit of a know-it-all placement, all right? Or it's like they have to be heard. They can't not speak, okay? They think something, they think they're right, and they have to communicate that. And many times they are right. You know, there's a strength to their words, and there's a need to be heard sort of by, you know, the people that they care about. They need to feel like what they're saying is of import. Virgo, so you've got Mercury and Virgo. I have this in my chart. A lot of astrologers actually have strong Virgo in their charts, whether it's their Mercury itself or it's a, you know, Virgo rising or strong sixth house. This is the desire to analyze things, to name things, to delineate, to put things in their proper category. With that comes an over-analysis at times, or putting too much of a focus on what's wrong with the situation, you know, being overly critical, and always never quite satisfied with how things are panning out. But it's this mental processes that have to do with categorizing and analyzing things. Mercury in Libra. This is somebody who's quite diplomatic. I would think of, if you had sort of the perfect diplomat. I love Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin, I don't even know where his Mercury is, but we'll just use him as an example. To me, he feels like he's got some pretty strong Libra in his chart. I've never looked at his, but he has to, you know, this ability to say the right things sweetly. There's a sweetness to Libra, right? Like they're diplomatic and harmonious. They know how to sugarcoat something and say it in a way that the other person will hear what it is that they want to hear, but the Libra's going to get what they want to get. So, and you know, also Libra is concerned about saying things in a way that's not rude. There's a politeness there and a kindness, and just follow the social etiquette in this particular situation. So their mind is very balanced, and it's a logical mind as well. But it's going to be spend a lot of its time focused on how other people are behaving, thinking, feeling. They've got that external locus of focus, I'll say, on other people more so than it being about themselves and what's happening inside of themselves. Mercury in Scorpio. No, I know this one really well. I was married to a great guy, but for 13 years who has this, and my best friend has this. These people ask the best questions. These people are the ones that are tenacious. If you've got like a mess up on your phone bill and you need someone to make a phone call to the call center to fix the problem, you want a Mercury Scorpio, or Scorpio Mercury. They don't give up. They're determined. The way that they think is very focused. It's very dogged. They're like pit bulls, and they will ask the questions that other people will not ask. They'll ask the questions in relationships that other people are afraid to ask. They're not afraid to ask, are you okay? Is everything okay? Are you mad at me? Did I do something wrong to offend you? They no problem with all of that. They want to get it all out on the table because they know already. They're very instinctive, intuitive, and they know when people are lying to them. So you got to be straight up with a Scorpio Mercury. Mercury in Sagittarius. This placement's interesting. So Sag has a need. There's an expansive quality here. And Sagittarius is they have this naive optimism to them where they just kind of say what they think. Mercury, or Sagittarius Mercury in particular, this is definitely opinionated, saying what they think, wearing their heart on their sleeve, so to speak, or just being really open about what they think about a certain situation. It's not a particularly intellectual placement, though, for Mercury, unless you've got it placed in a strong house, in an air house or something, or you've got it making some aspects to something like Saturn. It's going to make it a little more serious and a little bit more focused. So overall, Sagittarius Mercury is going to be pretty funny too. There's a jokey quality to this placement, and there's an interest in growth and, well, that didn't work, but let's just look to the future. They don't really like planning per se. Like, let's just kind of plan, but no focusing on any details. It's just kind of, this is sort of what we're going to do, and then just doing it spontaneously, just kind of shooting from the hip. That's Mercury Sagittarius. Mercury in Capricorn. Capricorn gives, it's an earth sign, this gives some skepticism to the Mercury. It can also give kind of a snobbiness to the Mercury. Or when I say this, I mean there is a certain way to do something, or a certain way to think about something, or a certain way to socially behave. There's a certain way to do the thing you're doing. And the Capricorn Mercury will have an opinion about that. It's either you're doing it the right way or not. And so they can be a little snotty and a little bit closed off to other people's ways of thinking. They have their own sort of idea about how things should be done. And they are focused on status. There is that issue as well with Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury in Aquarius, these are people, they're folks who express in a little bit of a unique way. A lot of times they're people who are very eccentric in their thinking, big thinkers, cosmic thinkers, eccentric, out of the box, like mad scientist type of thinkers, right? They're going to do things their own way, and they're going to have an opinion about things that might be a little bit original or unique. And they can be skeptics, scientific skeptics, really interested in science, but they sort of want to see all of the evidence before they make a decision about something. Or they could be someone who just is sort of a free thinker. That's the combination of Aquarius and Mercury. Okay. Pisces, when you've got Pisces, Mercury and Pisces, these people many times have a psychic gift. There is a little bit of a cloudiness to the way that they think, so many times math might not be one of their favorite topics, unless you've, again, got like some Saturn placements or some things that would suggest otherwise. But there's a fuzziness to their mental processes, and there's a fuzziness to the way that they use logic. So they tend to lean towards emotion more and how they feel about something, and articulating things at times can be difficult for them. Very compassionate. They're going to focus their thoughts a lot of times. Their thoughts will be focused around other people's needs and how they can sort of help ease someone else's burdens. All right, that's it for Mercury. Those are just a quick little peek at Mercury through the 12 zodiac signs. Let me know about your Mercury. Where is it? What sign? What house? Any aspects being made to it? Post below and we can have a little chat. It's fun to hear how people have experienced their own planet, and also anyone that you know. Just leave your comments. Okay, have a great day and on to the next video. Bye.